Hey everyone, this is April Wagner here, and I'm so excited to be here. This is the European July Elite Academy. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm going to talk about new customer acquisition. But like I said, let me introduce myself. My name is April Wagner. I have 3 grown boys, married to Bob Wagner for 40 years. And we were actually introduced to this industry 29 years ago. And we were introduced at a time where my husband had a very traditional business, but he had some large receivables that he didn't get paid. And you know, when you don't get paid, you can't pay others. And so that was kind of forcing him out of business. The timing was not so good as we were both working. We were living on both our salaries. We had a new house with a large mortgage and 2 large car payments and just had another baby. And so, we had 2 boys at that point as opposed to the 3 we have now. But so the timing was not good. And luckily, as that business was closing, someone came into my husband's picture frame factory, as he made picture frames for a living, and wanted to get a magazine cover framed. And on that cover were a lot of people that were very successful, dressed in suits, Mercedes. The gentleman that had come in to get this magazine cover framed was looking very, very successful as well. And my husband just asked him, "What do you do for a living?" And then invited himself to a meeting. I don't know if you've ever had anyone invite themselves to a meeting, but he had invited himself to a meeting. And that was the start of our journey in this industry. We were with that very first company for 25 years, but 3.5 years ago, we found out about LifeVantage. Super excited. It's been an amazing journey. We are Pro8s and just so in love with LifeVantage and all the people, the products, the company, everything is just amazing. But as I said, I'm going to talk about new customer acquisition. And, it truly is our job and our only job really to spend 80% of our time introducing our products and our business to other people. And so Bobby and I became very intentional about this. Back in September, when the company started with the 5 and 500 pool shares, that set some mini goals for us. And so for every month since then, we've at least had 1 share in that pool. Again, 5 new customers, 500 points, if not 2 or 3 shares in that pool. So, we've become very intentional about our business, so intentional that wherever you are, we make sure that we are introducing ourselves and collecting information, telephone numbers from people as somebody that we're going to approach with the business as we move forward. So, an example that we use quite often is we love to go to the beach. We like to take our Jeep on the beach. And, when we can drive on the beach here in Florida, so we're lucky for that. But we always look to the left or right of us, and we make sure by the end of the day that we've gotten somebody's name and telephone number so that we can continue to talk to them about our company and its products. Bob's gotten so intentional. He rides about 20 miles a day. He does a route that's 3 times around. And when he sees the same people continually, he's been known to stop his bike and introduce himself and get their name and telephone number. So we've become very intentional. In fact, in the month of May and June, we added 31 new people to our business because of that. And so, the best thing you can do is make sure that you're what they're calling collecting information and phone numbers, or they call it databasing these days, because the chances are on that bike ride or even at the beach, we've spent some time with somebody, but doesn't mean they're going to make a business decision that very first time. In fact, it's very unlikely. So we need to be able to collect information so that we can continue to follow up and do something we call dripping, continue to give them information about our product or our business or whatever they might be interested in. So make sure, rather than give a business card, that you make sure that you are collecting people's information, contact information, so that you can continue to follow up with them. I'm not sure who said it, but one of the things we never want to do is trust our fortune to our memory or to social media. And everybody's had their account closed or limited at some point or another. So one of the things that we are intent upon and consistently and persistently doing is asking people to take a look at our video, because we invite, that's the I in the ITT system, and then we send them a tool and we invite them to take a look at the video, whether we're talking to them in person or we're just talking to them online. It doesn't really matter. But one of the things that we found out recently is in our phones, do you know how many contacts you have? I was blown away. I had no idea. But even bigger than that is the number of people that I had not talked to recently that I'd forgotten about, and the number of names and numbers that I didn't remember at all. And you would think 29 years in this industry that I had well picked over all the names and contacts that I have in that phone. But you know what? That absolutely wasn't true. So, you know, that's a great source of leads for us to be able to reach out to people, reintroduce ourselves, send them a script, and get them to take a look at our video, the tool. And so, you know, one of the things that we want to do is the way that we ask and the direction we give people can really help with the outcome of how much information we're able to get them and how far we get as far as getting them to either purchase products or join us in the business. So one of the things that you should say to a person and phrase it this way is, if I sent you a video, would you watch it? And that most often will ensure that you will get a yes. Most of the time, a great percentage, you will get a yes. So if I sent you a video, would you watch it? Even more importantly than that is the two things that you want to do once they say yes. So again, if you do not have their contact information, if you've just met them out and the conversation went that far, or you met them online and you've been in Messenger, great. Send me your cell number and I'll go ahead and text that over to you. So again, you can see I'm continually figuring out ways to collect more information. The other thing so important that we want to do is ask them, when will you watch it? We want to put a deadline on it. Because I don't know if you're like me, I have piles of stuff that at one point or another seemed like really good idea. I wanted more information. I intend to look at it and get more information from that. But busy. Everybody's busy. We only have so much time. So if you do not put a deadline on it, they may never get it. It'll wind up in that same pile with the good intention of, yeah, they were going to watch it, but they've been busy. So the best thing you can do is ask them, great, when do you think you'll have time to watch it? So important. When will you have time to watch it? Let the video, let the tool do the work for you. But, you know, ask them, great, when will you watch it? And it doesn't matter when they say they'll watch it. Monday, next Friday, next month, it doesn't really matter. But this begins to allow you to not only put a deadline on it, but be able to set up your next appointment. So if they say Monday, I'll say, great, you know, Monday's great. If I call you on Tuesday, will you have watched it? Yes, I'll watched it by Tuesday. Great. So if I call you on Tuesday, you'll watch it. Is the morning best or the afternoon best? You want to set up that next appointment. So when you call, they know you're going to be calling and you're not just calling at a bad time and they're expecting your call. So the deadline and the next appointment are super important. The next bit of advice I can give is, just because somebody necessarily watched a product video, you know, with our company, you know, they may look at that video and say, wow, this is a great cutting edge product. Nobody knows about this. This would be a huge business opportunity. So don't always assume what you think a person is going to think about a video. You may be talking to them because you think they need a product or need a business opportunity, and they may see something totally different. So the next area you want to be careful about is, what did you love best about the video? And I always say that to people, whether you had time to take a look at it or not, what did you love best about the video? You know, because again, we want to get a positive answer. We don't want a yes or no answer. You know, we want to get a positive answer. So what did you love best about the video? And a lot of times you'll see that we'll get questions like exciting or interesting. And, you know, really, what does that tell us? That really doesn't tell us anything. So if they come back to you with a question like that, that's kind of vague, you know, what you want to do is, well, what did you find interesting about the video? Or, you know, what did you find exciting? And you want to continue to answer and ask enough questions to that person so that you can actually figure out what they're thinking. And you may have to ask 2, 3, 4 questions. Don't just take it at, you know, that's one of the reasons we say don't ask the person if they watched the video, because then you just get a yes or no answer. And what does that mean? That doesn't really help me at all with getting this person to either get started in the business or on the product. So what'd you love best about it? And continue to keep answering those questions, because again, you know, we don't want to prejudge. We don't know what that person's thinking. So we kind of got to listen to what direction they're actually going in with this. The last thing we want to do is get somebody else on the phone. So they call it third-party validation. We've just gotten started new in this industry. There's a lot to know about these products, a lot of scientific terms and a lot to know, which can be kind of scary. But, it wouldn't matter how much you know. It wouldn't matter if you were already a biochemist. We all only have so much credibility with the people that we know closely and love so much. We consider that our warm market. We only have so much credibility with them. And so actually we have no credibility for the most part, the closer the person is to you, meaning your friends and family and stuff. So we want to get a third party person on the phone, and they'll give that person all the credibility in the world. But what I like to do is, as I'm talking to a person and they have questions, even if I know the answer to that question, I'll say, that's a really great answer. Let me get Bob on the phone. He's been in the industry for 29 years. He knows all the answers to that question. And then I would just include him in on that call. Don't ask for permission to add a person to a three-way call. Same thing with Messenger chat. If you're in Messenger and you're going along, say, great, I'm going to add Bob to this conversation because I know he's going to know the answer to that. That is the best way to get somebody else into your conversation, because a lot of times people think if you're going to add somebody and you ask their permission, they're thinking, oh my goodness, here comes the heavy closer. He's going to reach through the phone and get my credit card, and and then they get all fearful and uptight and stuff and all. So that is a great way to get that third party validation on the phone with you, to be able to answer the questions that they need, put that person at ease. So those are just a few of the tips that I have as you're adding new customers and distributors to your business. Again, we don't ever want to come across as the product expert, because people think right away, I can't do that, and they will shy away from the business. So I hope you make a point of always asking for the sale as well. If you don't ask for the sale, the chances are you won't get it. So at some point, you've got to ask people, are you ready to get started? Are you ready to purchase a product? Or, do you need more information again? But thank you so much for letting me be a part of this July Elite Academy. And so excited and so blessed to be with this company, and so excited to see you all. Thank you so much for your time.